So we've got a 2005 F350 here, 6-liter diesel, of course. It's got a laundry list of issues, all electrical issues. It does have a extended crank when hot intermittently, so I don't think that's a leak in the high pressure oil system. With all of these other issues that he's having here, he left me a list and we discussed it. I think that this is all related. So I'm going to show you why, when you have problems like this, why it's important when you scan to scan all modules, because there's going to be some clues in there, and I'll show you here in a second. Hopefully they didn't clear the codes, but if they did, I have a system report here from I'm not sure where he had this done, but somebody did this for him. He just ran it over there to have him scan it, and they printed it out for him. So I do have this, but let's go ahead and scan this thing and see what is going on with this. Let me grab the phone. So we need to get our scan tool fired up. I should have done this already. Stick our key in here. And the windows are not working. Yeah, we have no windows right now, but they will start working here in a second. Yeah, I just heard, yeah, there we go. Radio came on, and I'll turn that off. So, let's get this thing vinned in. We need to back out of here. Sorry about that. I should have had this set up already. I need to put my glasses on so we can see. Escape. No. Escape. Yes, I'm sure. Cancel. Forward. It's the end of the day, so I'm kind of brain dead, but I'll do my best. So we're going to automatically select this. Oh, okay, it's not going to sit up there, you bastard. Read. And this is a Ford, so the Autel's going to take its sweet time. Oh wow, it pulled that in up pretty quick. Stay right there. Okay. Turn that heater off. Yep. And the Android is, it doesn't like Fords. I mean, I can't say I blame it, but it's just really slow connecting to Fords. I mean, GM, or I just did an Isuzu earlier, and oops. What in the hell? Stay up there. Okay, that works. All right, so we're going to diagnose. We're going to auto scan, and this is what you want to do when you have a whole bunch of weird issues with everything, because there's going to be, oh wow, there's 7 faults in the powertrain, or the ECU engine control module part of the PCM. Restraint control module, we're not having any COM issues with those. Cluster has 3, of course. So this is a CAN system. It's got a network on it. You know, you got modules that yak at each other. Generic electronic module. The 4x4 module basically on this truck, which is obsolete and big NA. Parking aid module, we have 1 fault. Vehicle security module. Huh. I guess that's just the alarm on these trucks. You know, you can set the alarm with the RKE and it'll beep the horn if somebody tries to bust into it, I guess. I don't know. Let's see. Okay. So let's look at the parking aid module here first. What's the code? That's not available anymore either. Well, it beeped. The speaker's working. Rear inner left sensor circuit failure, 2 codes. Okay, well, we got something going on there. We don't really care about that. That's not going to affect any of this. Come on, you slow thing. Okay, so we want to go, let's look at the GEM module. Yeah, whatever. Well, the lights worked on the dash, 4x4 low and all that crap. Okay, this is of interest here because of the issues that we're having. Ignition run accessory circuit failure. Okay, that's good. This stuff here, these 2, transmission transfer case, 4-wheel drive solenoid circuit failure, 2-wheel drive solenoid circuit open or short to ground. That's that little, call it a module there on the fender over there that for the auto lock hubs. And then we have an ignition run accessory failure. Okay, so that is interesting. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. Okay, we looked at the parking aid, we looked at that. Let's look at the, here we go, instrument cluster. Read codes. It's gonna probably flip out here. Oh, no, maybe. I don't think it does a self-test when you read the codes. You gotta actively do the self-test. I could be wrong though. I don't, yeah, it is. She's lighting everything up. And it even says self-test on the driver information center. Okay, yeah, it swept the gauges. Ignition key in circuit fault. That's pretty common. That's that little ding 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 when you push the key in. Fuel gauge sender open, circuit or short circuit to positive. Ignition key in circuit failure. Ignition switch circuit open. So that one there, I'm not worried about the key in circuit fault. That's, you know, the tumbler there is a little switch in there that, or a little metal tab that the key pushes when it's in there. We don't care about that, but this one here is of interest. Ignition switch circuit open. So let's back out of that. Let that thing read the codes again. Okay, we're gonna go to the powertrain control module. This is where things might get really interesting. Yeah, it always takes a while on Fords to, with this scan tool, this scan codes, continuous memory. Oh, there we go. Intake air temperature sensor 2 circuit high. So that's part of the mass airflow. No, that's circuit 2. Okay, that's, never mind, it's the end of the day. That's the one that's in the intake manifold, and that's how the PCM determines EGR flow. It measures the incoming air temperature and the intake air temperature, and it should see a rise on that when you have EGR flowing through there. You know, there's a threshold there. So fuel level sensor circuit A, it needs a sending unit. That's, these things always do. Got another one for that. We got a glow plug control module circuit. Glow plug number 2 circuit, glow plug control module communication fault, ICP injector control pressure regulator open. Okay, so right there is our no start hot or intermittently no start right there, and that's what I suspected, because it hadn't been a year or so ago that I had, he cracked a cylinder head and we put a cylinder head on it, and I replaced every component in the high pressure oil system. So it's all new and it's all the latest and greatest. So it's not very likely that we had a leak in there. So this is what I wanted to see right here. This verifies that. So, okay. That tells us quite a bit. So let me shut this off. And let's go out here and we'll look at his list. So this is why it's important when you have multiple issues going on here to do a full system scan on a CAN system, because you're going to see, you know, you're going to see clues in there because the modules are yakking, and you know, you may see the same type of code in two different modules, and you know, that pretty much is going to lead you on your diagnostic path. So let's look at his list. Okay, so all right, so the number one problem that he thinks is every once in a while, and more often than not, you key it up and the wipers start up, you know, and he said he had that problem before, and he put a multifunction switch in it, and he didn't have it for a long time. So that there could very well be the multifunction switch, because this is not a Ford one. I don't know where he got it. Won't start occasionally. And his opinion was, seems like he's getting no fuel or no power from the Thickum. You know, okay, that we just saw that there, no power to the IPR, you know, an open circuit on that. So that's why it didn't start. Power windows don't work on accessory power, needs to have engine running. So, and I verified that the power windows don't work, but they also don't work when you turn the key on. It takes a little bit for them to, you know, you'll hear one of the relays here click. I don't know which one it is yet. I'll have to check into that. And then they'll start working. So let's see, glow plug module. We have a communication issue with the glow plug module. I don't know if it must be intermittent, obviously. Although I didn't see let's see if the glow plug lights up here. Yeah, we're not getting the glow plug light in there, so I don't know if they're working or not. We could do a running test on it. It said glow plug number 2. The fuel sender codes, that's pretty normal for these trucks. It's the sending unit in the tank. They get, you know, they're doing this for this many years, and they're either, you know, they're breaking continuity on the little rheostat in there. So that fixes them every time. Sometimes it's a cluster, but generally it's going to be that fuel sender. Sometimes doesn't register fuel level, and yeah, that's part of that problem. When that thing goes open, or shorts, it's going to go all the way down to the bottom, or it's going to go above full. So really common on these trucks. Sometimes it seems like moving the steering wheel up and down can start the wipers going on. Well, I don't know. I'll have to check that. So anyway, so you know, based on my experience with these trucks, one of the things that I am going to look at is this truck has a sunroof in it, and or I guess they call it a moonroof, whatever. They have drains in there. There's some kind of in this area, in the B pillar and in the A pillar, and if they get plugged up, you know, and it doesn't take a lot of water. That water, and I don't know how the hell it gets into the central junction box here, but it gets in there. If you get down the A pillar, you know, drain. I've actually pulled the cover off of these and had water just fall out on the floor, you know, after a heavy rain, because these vents get plugged up here. It's not that the seal's leaking on the sunroof, it's those vents get plugged up, and there's little channels in there, and they don't, you know, they're not designed to hold a gallon of water. They only hold a little bit of water, and the drains are supposed to be, you know, allow that water to drain out, you know, the A and B pillar here. And if those get clogged up or spider web in them, or, you know, whatever, they usually get debris in them. You know, those need to be cleaned out so that they flow properly. And if they don't, you're gonna get, you're gonna get water in the cab here. And so the first thing I'm gonna do, because it's pretty easy to do, is I'm gonna pull the central junction box, and I'm gonna pull the, there's a plastic cover on the back of it. I'm gonna look in there and see if we have any corrosion going on, and kind of test things in there. And that's a pretty quick test to do, but that's the direction I'm going in, because everything like our relay for the windows and stuff, it's all in here. It's all right in here. Now maybe, I don't know, it just sounds like a relay issue, so it sounds like connection issues on the CJB. But I mean, we could have an issue with the electrical part of the ignition switch here, but that's really easy to test. So right now, that's going to be my general direction, and I'm going to, I should probably pull up a wiring diagram too and study it a little bit, because, these trucks, well, they're all kind of the same, but I mean, you can't remember all that stuff. Maybe it'll refresh my memory a little bit. And but whatever's going on with this, I'm not sure that the wiper switch is related to any of this. It's kind of a standalone. Well, wait a minute. There's a relay in there. Yeah, it actually could be. So I actually think we have something going on in our CJB. So we're going to check that. That's where we're going to start. And but I'm going to go home because I don't even know what time it is. It's 8 o'clock. Come back in tomorrow, and I'll check that, and hopefully it'll be a pretty easy fix. It should be. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope I made a little bit of sense.